Child support is a big deal for some people and for a lot of different reasons. Some parents, moms, I'm just going to talk about moms because, and I'm sure there's a lot of dads out there maybe getting child support or whatever, but I don't know none, so I'm not going to speak on that. What I am going to speak on, though, is moms that I know who receive child support or don't. But I want to first start by saying I know this guy, right? And he pays child support, and his daughter wasn't young; she was a teenager, and we were dating. We were dating, and his daughter's mom got sick and had to be hospitalized. And I mean, he was really like on it, going up there to see, make sure she was okay, blah blah blah. Make sure she was discharged properly, back home properly, all that stuff. And I was kind of giving him the side eye because I'm like, why is that so? Why are you so heavy on making sure she okay? And you know what he said? He said because if her mom is not okay, then she's not gonna be okay. And I was like, you know what? I had so much respect for him after that. He was like, because I live too far, my daughter, her school, her work, everything is set up with her mom and at her mom's house. So if her mom is not well, then my daughter's not going to be well. She would have to come out, all the way where I live and transport back and forth and all that. And he was like, so I'm trying to make sure that her mom is okay. Much respect, much respect. But let's talk about what child, and he pays child support and is on it, is everywhere all the time at every function, at paying for dinner, taking her hair, going ahead, doing that, paying for her and her girlfriends, all of that, and don't make a peep. So anyway, back to where I started this. What child support does not cover? If you are hands on raising your child, it does not matter how much money you make. A child inconveniences you. Period. You cannot do whatever you want, however you want, if you have a child, even if you have money. So, child support, I mean, I don't know why, it's thought that, your kid's mom is going to come up. She going to go to the next tax bracket with your money. She going to be doing some big things that you can't do with your money. And guess what? I don't know everybody's story, but I'm just saying the stories that I do know. Child support is not doing all of that. It's not doing all that. What it also does not do is it don't have nothing to do with her getting up out her sleep in the middle of the night when she got a sick baby. It don't have nothing to do with her going to work the next day after being up all night with a sick baby. It don't have nothing to do with her getting to work and not being able to focus because she had to leave her sick baby. It don't have nothing to do with not being able to accept certain jobs because the hours don't coincide with school or daycare. It don't have nothing to do with not being invited to certain things anymore because you have a child and it's known that you don't have any support, so you have to be home with your kid. It don't have nothing to do. Child support don't have nothing to do with you having to come straight home from work because you can't stop for no after work party or none of that kind of stuff because you don't have no support and you got to pick your kid up. It don't have nothing to do with you having to pay extra money to live in a certain area so your child can go to school in a certain school district. Child support don't have nothing to do with the fact that you need to pay an extra $500 a month because now this child is old enough to need their own bedroom. Child support don't cover extra bedrooms. You getting what you getting. If you get $400 a month, that's what you get. Whether your rent goes up $100, $200, $300, your child support don't go up. You got to make up the difference. Child support don't cover your child not wanting to eat this or that and you having to make an extra meal. It don't cover having to buy a certain size vehicle because your kid is getting bigger and they playing sports and whatever. It don't cover not being able to go to the hairdresser and get your nails done because you need to have extra money on the weekend so you could do something with your kid. It don't cover that. It don't cover missing the functions, and it don't cover being a helicopter making sure ain't nobody hurting the child and all that. It don't cover the school call the mother. Whoever's on the documents, that's who the school call, and that's who got to go. Child support don't cover you having to call out of work or leave work to go and get your child because they acting uncouth at school. Child support don't cover that. You having to get sick. I had a gash in my head that I never went to the hospital. I should have got stitches. I had a concussion and I never went to the hospital because child support wasn't going to cover me laying in some hospital for 3 days. Where was my son going to be? Child support don't cover that. So for you, like y'all dads that think that this child support is almighty, just really think about. I mean, when you come home from work and you could take a shower and chill, relax, grab you something to eat, talk to your whoever, kiki with your boys and all that shit. We don't get to do that because child support don't allow that. Okay? It's more to it than you just sending money. It's more to it than you saying you love a child. It's more to raising a child than loving them. Raising a child is dedication. You have to be so dedicated that you are willing to not do the things that make you feel good so that this child can feel good. You have to be so dedicated that you are not able to have emotions sometimes because you got to stay even so that your emotions don't affect their emotions. Child support don't do nothing about that at all. Okay? So, like, come on with that child support shit. I'm sick of hearing it. And I'm sick of people thinking that, oh, well, she took me to court and what, well, yeah. Now, if you got a deadbeat baby mom and she happened to win custody or whatever because you was doing whatever, I understand that, and I'm sure it's a whole lot of exceptions to the rule. But when you got a mom that's doing what she's supposed to be doing with that child, your kid don't want for nothing. You see that they're being well taken care of. They eating good, they sleeping good, they healthy, they're happy, they all the things. That's part of child support. That's a part of supporting your child. You're not paying the mother. You're taking care of your kid. No, she's still working for free. She's still working her ass off for free. Your child support is not paying her to take care of your responsibility. You still are supposed to show up. You still are supposed to show up. So it's aggravating and it's triggering for a mother to watch the father of her children having such a good time while she is missing out on her whole life because she doesn't have his help. So, all this, oh, she bitter or she mad because he got somebody else. No, she mad because it's amazing how much time he got to spend with somebody else other than this kid. And if you out with somebody else, that means you spending money. You can't go nowhere for free. And even if she's spending the money on you, you should be saying, can I get that $20? I can send it to my son. Because that's what single parenting is. Everything that I get, my son gets. Everything. So you have no idea what it's like to raise a child because you somewhere chilling and talking shit about something that you don't know nothing about because you ain't never did it. So, like child support, no.